So let's get into a big pot at the CGWC with two of the main players, Linus versus Biluzin. I think this flop is where the solver and probably Linus also is going over bet or check, and I think this is very high frequency, if not pure combo to do it with the Jack 10, King 9 pure call. Then I wonder if this is a pure overbet or a very high frequency, because I do think it's a premier hand to double barrel with. It might definitely be pure. And then the river also, I mean, Linus still has that nut advantage. Probably he has to just go with it with this hand. And Biluzin, even though he doesn't beat any of the value, he has the blockers to all the value, so he has to call. But let's take a look, if Linus is supposed to barrel off here pure, or if he should tame down his aggression. Okay, so we can get a perfect solution here pre-flop, where we can see a gigantic 3-bet size, and King 9 is able to do it, is pretty much a pure call though. Okay, so the solver c-bets really close to what Linus did, 8.8. And yeah, Jack 10 is an excellent c-bet, and interestingly we can see that the ones with the backdoor flush draw and the flush draw, those are the ones that actually check back, even though they have obviously higher EV and higher equity. Whereas these ones pretty much c-bet pure. And it's still pretty close, but that's interesting. I think the reason for that is just why good draws more often check back. It's just like they there is value in improving on the turn and river, extracting value when they hit. Whereas these ones, they have less, more value to take the pot right now. With that huge overbet, utilizing or leveraging that nut advantage, they just want to go for the overbet, take the pot right now, whereas these ones actually have a lot of value in letting favorable turns and rivers come where they hit and extract a lot of value that way. That is my thinking about it. But let's go to the turn. Because King 9 of course is just a pure call, and there are really no raises here given that line is betting so big and has that huge nut advantage. Now, I do think the Jack 10, where it was a perfect c-bet, I think it's also a perfect double barrel. And again, close to what Linus did. 36.2 becomes 32, 150%. And indeed, yeah, it can check a little, but it's indeed a perfect double barrel. And yeah, it might actually be pretty much a pure barrel, and Linus is probably, doing this pure. We see that now the Jack 10 of clubs, however, is taking the equity. The pot is really big, and he can bet. Even if Biluzin would shove, he can still pretty much actually call it down with the Jack 10 of clubs Linus, but Biluzin is probably not even going to shove as the raise size, so he can safely, he's not gonna get blown off his hand. That's the main thing here, and so he is taking that equity and now tries to blow off Biluzin off his hand with all the equity that he has. And also we see the solver is not even shoving, is raising small, so the Jack 10 of clubs is really safe, and again wants to utilize all the equity that he has to blow off Biluzin off his hand. You see Biluzin has to fold a lot of weak aces, a very tough spot there, even folding ace 10. We see all these aces folding, so it's a very, very tough spot Biluzin has there, facing that nut advantage. So the Jack 10 of clubs really wants to blast, but of course Jack 10 of hearts also wants to do that. Right, and we see like almost 50% is blasting enough for the overbet here, and not all good shots get to, but of course it makes sense that Jack 10 wants to do that a lot. Now the solver interestingly goes for a 25% donk size to cater sort of the the missed draws like the 5 deuce of clubs and the jack 10 of clubs, you know, balanced by these value hands. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna assume he's not gonna have donks because it's kind of a, I don't want to say niche play. It's like, yeah, I don't see regulars really do that. It's kind of like a solver thing. Maybe Linus has a smaller sizes, but when he does, I know he bets 72% as a standard sizing, but he may just have an all-in sizing. And interestingly, the jack 10 of hearts is just giving up. See, what seemed like a standard hand now becomes an interesting one, because, you know, Linus made the move, and I also immediately got biased thinking, oh, that must be a great third barrel. That is probably, you know, just because Linus did it, I thought the jack 10 of hearts is a fine barrel, but these gut shots actually, you know, give up a lot, whereas the bluffs mainly come from even bottom pair here, blocking the, you know, blocking some of the calls, of course, blocking some ace 3s and king 3s and whatnot, probably. And even we see here 9x, you know, for the shove, we really want to block those calls. Let's take a look. Wow, and it's pretty crazy to see. See, again, I'm always get so biased. I'm not saying I'm good in you know, guessing what the solver would say, but I do think I get biased a lot by what these great players do. They do it, I think it's a good play, but wow, look at king 9 here. You know, and Biluzin, you know, probably made exploitatively the right call with the king 9. Given that Linus was just barreling off the jack 10 of hearts, it should give up. So Linus absolutely may have been over bluffing here. I could see him do that, and then the king 9 becomes a pretty easy call, because of course it's already really close. But yeah, that shove is such an overbet, even, and it's pretty crazy. Even the king 9 is folding, and he needs to. It's just really a crazy hand. I mean, Linus should give up a lot, especially the jack 10 and these gut shots. The bluffs should come from mid and low pairs mostly, because those block the calls like the ace 3, pocket 9s and ace 9, right? Like Linus really wants to, especially for such an overbet, and you know, it's technically, of course, the logic in these situations, really wants to block the calls, and he does so by you know, shoving the river with a 3 or a 9. So that's pretty obvious, and so he doesn't really get to, you know, follow up with these jack 10s, because a large part of the folding range is actually the ace 10 and the ace jacks that stuck around. A lot of weak aces are already folding on the turn. Ace jack and ace 10 really stick around a lot, and ace queen as well, and they are supposed to fold a river a lot, right? Like most non-two pair hands are actually folding. So these fold a lot, and so having jack 10 or any gut shot in this region really blocks that folding range. That's why Linus is supposed to give up these and, you know, bluff with the combos that actually block the value calls of Biluzin. So crazy hand. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned a lot like me, right? I think I learned a lot doing this. Hope you liked the video, and if you want 10% off of this awesome tool, then check the link in the description.